Well, we're here at Highland High School in Alt, kind of taking a break from the sun and the shade here by the concession stand with Remington Ross, the Tribune's Female Athlete of the Year. And I don't think if we went back and totaled votes or went through all the criteria, it would even be close. Remington, you had a year that started with softball and didn't end until the state track meet. And I know that stretches the year out a long way, but kind of along the way, all the accolades that you were able to pile up. When you look back on it now, do you sit at some point, and I know nobody likes to brag about themselves at some point, but give yourself a big old pat on the back at times?
Yeah, definitely by myself though. I try to stay as humble as I can, but it's pretty crazy to look back and just say, wow.
You know, one of the questions that really arises with me is you go to high school here at Highland High School in Alt, but in the fall, you're down in Eden playing softball. And I know we have that situation with a lot of athletes where a school doesn't offer a sport, and yet they got to go somewhere else to participate. You've done that now for 2 years, right?
Yep.
And how does that feel, putting on a different team's uniform that is not really the school you go to, and really kind of a school that, in a sense, in a lot of ways, could be a rival in some sports?
Yeah, like when we grew up through middle school, they were definitely a rival, but you like worry about how they're going to treat you when you go to your rival school. But it's really great. Like, they accept you so well, and those girls are one of my best friends, even from like not Highland, and they are just so accepting, and it's a great team and great atmosphere.
And that's a little bit of about a 10-12 mile drive.
Yep.
Down there every day, so that can get kind of I guess it can be kind of a pain in a way, but I guess at some point it becomes routine in what you do.
Yep.
You get used to it?
Oh yeah.
What? Let's go through the softball season. You had a great season in softball, and I guess if I had to pinpoint, and maybe going back yesterday and looking at some of your accomplishments, softball may be the one that stands out with the star next to it in terms of the sport that you feel like you're going to excel at the next level.
Yep. Yeah, definitely, and that's why I chose softball to go to college, then track, and it's kind of like the atmosphere with the girls, and to have a team instead of just running for yourself and individually.
And you committed to Cal State Thornton?
Yep.
Tell me, how did Cal State Thornton find Remington Ross out here in the heartbeat of America, where cornfields and baseball fields are almost like a field of dreams and a football field, and of course Eden softball field, not much of a different atmosphere or surroundings? How did they find you?
I'm on a good club team that travels a lot, and I decided to go out to a camp out there and just try out a school, and as soon as they saw me at the camp, they got to see me, and instead of coming out here, and they didn't know who I was until the camp.
Where was the camp at?
On their campus in Thornton.
Wow. How nervous were you when you're at that camp, knowing that eyes are on you and this could decide some future?
It's so nerve-wracking to talk to colleges when you're that young, but it was you just gotta swallow it and try to perform your best and not let the nerves get to you. But it was fun.
Did you feel like when you finished that camp that and you feeling like exhaling and saying, at least I gave them everything I had to show, and hopefully it was enough?
Yeah, because
kind of a relief.
Yeah, they gave me the offer during the camp, so it was really nerve-wracking, but you just get so happy you can't control yourself, and it was a great experience.
2 years of school left though.
Yeah.
And you're already verbally committed. Talk about that. I mean, a lot of people, boy, they don't get the offer, or they wait until, a month, 2 months before it's time to pack up a backpack with all your goodies and your belongings from your room and head to college. And you're 2 years and you're committed out.
Yep. It's kind of crazy.
Does it feel good though?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of pressure off your shoulders to not worry about where you're going, but you still have to make sure you're excelling in the sport and give it your all every time. So.
Are you all over the internet following Cal State Thornton sports in every way, shape, and form?
Oh yes, I try to contact the coach as much as I can and the players and talk to them and congratulate them on all their achievements. But yeah, I love following them. They're such a great school and great program.
What do you plan on studying?
Physical therapy. So kinesiology. They have a good program.
Okay. That softball being the only sport you'll play in college?
Yes.
Okay, and I think that would be the next question, because you played everything here and excelled. Basketball, I would say, would I'm gonna guess, educated guess being your number 3 sport.
Oh yeah.
And of course, track being number 2 in a sense, only because you've committed to play softball. But let's talk about track. You know, you have a state title to your name, some state places. I want to, and I watched a little bit of video last night, and also some still shots of you running the 200-meter dash at state. That's a tough race.
Yes.
You know, the only other race I would think maybe tougher than that would be a 400.
Oh.
But in the 200, you know, there are certain parts of that race that really are crucial. What part of a 200-meter dash do you feel like is the most crucial that you had to get out and set the pace, or be right next to it, or right behind somebody to be able to have a chance to see that finish line?
I'd say the curve, like right out of the blocks, you have to be right on the line and like just give it your all through the curve as much as you can.
Once you get around that curve and you know there's nobody in front of you, do you find another gear?
Yes, I try to. Sometimes I make little race car noises in my head trying to get a little faster.
Is that right?
It's just a little joke between my dad and I. But
So a little race car, if you could put a number on your on your uniform, what would it be? 78, 88, anything?
I don't know, probably just 5 for my lane and then my favorite number. But.
Okay. So again, it's got to feel like exhaling exhilaration when you do hit that finish line.
Yep, it's nice.
And you were second in that race the year before, is that correct?
Yeah, my freshman year.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't place my freshman year.
Okay, but you had one race where you fell and you broke your wrist.
Yeah, I pulled a ligament in my thumb.
Was that you yourself tripping over your own feet in a sense, or not?
I don't really remember because it was happening so fast, but I think my legs really just gave out. Like I couldn't control them, I just gave out.
You get to a point when you're running sometimes when you don't feel
Yeah.
like you have control of your legs, and it's just kind of an automatic muscle movement, and I know what that feels like. And so at that point, you probably had nothing left.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It took a lot out of me.
What did you learn from that?
I kind of learned to loosen up and not get so tense with my competition, and kind of like not letting it bother you in the back of your head my next year, my sophomore year.
I want to get to off the athletic fields and into the classroom. What is your grade point average?
4.0.
Okay, I guess dumb question. Are you one of these people that sits in the classroom almost like when you get on the track and say, you know what, I'm going to win. Nobody in this class is going to get a higher score than me. That's kind of what the goal is.
I mean, I don't try to get higher scores than everybody, but I make sure that I get an A or better in every single class. I'm not really the 100% kind of guy.
Are you one of these kids who everything comes naturally when it comes to studying, or do you feel like you really have got to bust your chops and go at it, you know, every night?
Yeah, I guess it's in the middle. Sometimes, depending on the class, you really have to work for it, and then others you just stay on top of it and stay organized. It's a breeze.
Okay, so it goes right along with the way you do things here. You know, you're not down here, you're up here, and you maintain up here. Also, Remy, we talked last week a little bit. You were showing animals at the county fair.
Yep.
Okay, tell me what that's all about. What animals do you show, and how did you get involved in that aspect of it?
I show Holstein steers right now, and it's going to be my last year, but I used to show pigs. And we've had animals on our land forever, and why not try 4-H and show some animals?
Now, when you show animals for 4-H, are these kind of animals that somebody buys, or is it just to show and then receive an award for it?
It's just to show, like, we buy them from sellers and then you raise them the whole time so that you can show them at the fair.
How close do you get to animals?
I get really close. It's really hard to leave them at sale. I have a really hard time because I just create such a great bond with them, and it's hard to let them go. It's kind of like a dog for me.
How much of your day can you put minutes on a day you spend with certain animals?
Probably with my steers about 2 to 3 hours a day. Or it's getting less now that the sports are getting so high, and this is why it's my last year, and it takes a lot out, and sometimes you can't give them as much attention as you need to.
What's been your best animal that's brought the most?
Last year I had the Grand Champion Holstein.
Wow.
Yes.
And so somebody then does buy it, right?
Yep.
And then you receive the money to put towards education? Or?
Yep, definitely. It goes right into my scholarship funds.
Okay, so I want to know what was the Scaro? How much money was there that you put in that scholarship fund from that Holstein?
$5,500.
Well, that's kind of nice then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's great buyers at the livestock sale, and we are so grateful to have them and support us.
The other questions get into some little kooky things, but Remy, what's your favorite color?
Probably blue.
Blue. Favorite
Tealish.
Tealish blue?
Yep.
Okay. What is your favorite food?
Elk steak.
Elk steak.
Yes.
Well, this is all making sense, isn't it? Your favorite TV show?
I don't really watch like a certain show.
So nothing really in particular?
No, we don't have time to watch TV.
Okay. Favorite movie?
I don't really know.
What was the last movie you saw? Can you even think of that?
Yeah, I watched Jurassic Park or World or whatever the newest one was, but that was the first movie I'd seen in a while. Yeah.
What about musical artists?
I'd probably say George Strait.
Okay.
Like that.
Is that on your headphones when you're warming up your track, or do you do that?
No, probably just like new hip hop and everything else.
Okay. If you could spend a day with one person, dead or alive, and be an inspiration, who would that person be?
Probably just my dad because he's my biggest supporter and he's my best friend and he's my best friend before my dad and it's just I love spending time with him. It's just such a great
What is
support.
his name?
Kid Ryan.
Is he a rancher?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a rancher, we got Daddy's little girl, who has left Pops just as proud as possibly could be, with showing animals and then showing up the competition on the softball field and the track. Remy, it's been a pleasure to watch you perform, and congratulations on being
Thank you.
our well female athlete.
Thank you guys.